I like never fart anymore. It's dope. A while back, I did a video looking at a vegan YouTuber who I thought was doing a really good job in terms of their What I Ate Todays, showcasing a more balanced, kind of relaxed vegan diet without a lot of restrictions or, really low in protein, stuff like that. So I thought I would do that again because I came across this video from Veggiekins. Her name is Remy. It's called What I Eat in a Day, High Protein Vegan Meals Plus Tips. So of course I was going to watch this video. Obviously, given the introduction, I really, really liked it and I wanted to talk about it. That's it. So she starts the video saying that she's not going to use protein powder for the day because it's pretty obvious how to use protein powder, she says, which I guess is true if you're just putting it in a smoothie, but I think there are lots of baked things that you can make with protein powders. Now, I've said before, you can usually tell when something is made with protein powder, but I've made some fairly tasty stuff before. But anyway, I get what she's saying. It's a convenient thing that people often go to, but obviously there are a lot of other options for vegans, and a lot of vegans and people in general don't like protein powders, don't like the way they taste, or just don't like that they're very processed, rather get their protein from whole foods. Also, they can be pretty expensive. Her first tip is to use higher protein flours like chickpea flour. So that's what she does for breakfast. She makes some matcha pancakes with chickpea flour, also oat flour. So like I was saying with protein powders, instead of a protein powder, you could use a bean flour. I'm trying to think if I've ever made something sweet with chickpea flour. I mean, I've made like protein pancakes with protein powder, right? But I don't know if I've ever used chickpea flour to make a sweet thing. It's a very intense taste to me. Obviously, it's extremely bitter when it's raw, but even when it's cooked, it still has a flavor and it still has a bitterness. Maybe that's like a super taster thing. Maybe that's not, the same for most people, but I don't know if I could handle it in like a pancake type thing. But savory, yeah, I've made like a single serving chickpea dough pizza thing a couple of times, and it's basically just chickpea flour and nutritional yeast and some spices. It's pretty delicious. Like I said, I made it twice. Now, my stomach was not such a big fan, which is why I haven't made it again. But yeah, this is a great way to get in protein, and I think pancakes in general, there are lots of protein pancake recipes out there and other sweet breakfasts that can be made more protein friendly, more protein rich. Obviously, my vegan protein French toast, I am still eating that. I think, when did I start making it? Probably like 3 months ago at this point, and I think there's been like 3 days where I didn't have it that entire time. I don't use the Just Egg anymore. I think I mentioned before I wanted to try and make it with tofu, just in case Just Egg disappears like Just Mayo, and it's a lot cheaper than using Just Egg. But yeah, I've been doing the tofu version now exclusively. I really like it better, so yeah, if y'all are interested, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video. Her next tip is high protein pasta, which if you guys have been here for a while, you know I am a huge fan of the protein pastas. I don't really even eat regular pasta anymore. I don't know when I've had like semolina pasta, maybe at a restaurant or something. And even whole wheat pasta, I don't really eat it anymore. Anyway, she really likes the Bonza pasta, which we like too. It's really good. That's the one that we were eating for a while. It's a chickpeas based one, but then we found the Barilla Protein Plus plant-based pasta, whatever it's called. We prefer that one. It's actually a mix. Wheat, several different beans. I think chickpea and lentil and all. It's got all sorts of stuff going on, but it is really good. Really, really good texture. Oh, and it's way cheaper. way, way, way cheaper than any of the other protein pastas. But I will say Bonza has way more shapes. The only ones we've seen for the Barilla are like the spaghetti and penne and rotini. In her video, she shows this like alphabet pasta. And what the hell, it's Bonza. And sure enough, you go to the site and they've got like so many shapes and they have alphabet, which is really, really hard to find. Yeah, I might have to order some for the kids and myself. I like letters. Anyway, she decides not to have protein pasta for lunch.
I wanted to make some high protein pasta, but I've decided against it because this is something I realized I have included in a lot of my past What I Eat in a Day videos.
So instead, she makes avocado toast with white beans as a way to eat more beans and obviously increase the protein. And she actually mashes the beans up with the avocado. I don't know why that's so revolutionary to me, but It's so stupid, but every time I've ever tried to do avocado toast and increase the protein, which is like, okay, I'll add some beans, I just kind of mash them up on their own and like put them on top, and it just never works for me. Usually chickpeas. I don't even know if I've ever used white beans. But yeah, it makes so much more sense to mix them up with the avocado, and it's more of a similar texture to the avocado, the white beans, right? They get really, really soft. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to get some avocado if they aren't super expensive. I don't know. I don't know what the price is right now. She tops the toast with this protein topper that she makes from nuts and hemp seeds. Awesome, omega-3s, and nutritional yeast, which is another great protein source. Terrific source of B vitamins, including B12, since most, if not like all of them at this point, are fortified with B12. If you don't like it, definitely give it some time. I absolutely hated it, and then I didn't hate it, and now I love it, and I can just straight up eat it. It's so good. Toddler, it was really funny. We put some on popcorn and they tried it and they were like, what's the flavor? No, like they hated it. And then the next night, they were asking for it. They wanted it on. And I forgot what they called it. Something yeast. Little kid, trying to say nutritional yeast. Of course, it's going to be adorable. But yeah, then they were asking for it. And now we always put it on, and they literally will take a piece of popcorn and slide it around the side of the bowl to get any extra nutritional yeast that's on the side of the bowl. Like, they absolutely love it. She put some more of that topping on a little side salad that has pumpkin seeds in it.
Even if you are really focusing on protein, don't forget about the micro and macronutrients. They're all important. Your body needs them all.
And also these tempeh chips, which is such a good idea. This might actually get me to eat tempeh. I'm sure the kids would love it. So even if I don't, I'm sure they will like it. So yeah, I need to try this. Although now that I think about it, how am I going to get tempeh? Because I think the only brand of tempeh is Light Life. That's like the only one I ever see. Snacks. She really likes these Beanfields chips. I don't know how many other brands there are now that are made from beans, but we've tried these. I'm pretty sure. I think partner likes them.
Kind of tastes like vegan Doritos to me. And the thing is, I'm not really a chip girl, so that's saying a lot.
Chips for me, they need to be the real deal, or like no. Like if you're not salty and fatty and have no nutritional value whatsoever, then like fuck it. I'd rather eat broccoli or something. Like I just don't, it's not worth it. But everyone's different. I mean, there are certainly healthy alternatives of stuff that work for me and are just like, yeah, that's really fine. It's delicious. Or healthier, like I've talked about the So Delicious mousse ice cream. That's a lot lower in calories. I love that stuff. It is so delicious. Ha 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 ha. Smoothies and like banana ice cream with a little bit of cocoa powder or the peanut powder or whatever, that is really delicious. I don't mind having that in place of actual ice cream. So yeah, everyone's different. She mentions protein bars and how, they're great and they're convenient, but because they're so convenient, it can become easy to rely on them instead of having an actual meal, just having a protein bar, which isn't good because most of them, pretty much all they're good for is protein, right?
I would find myself too often opting for a protein bar instead of like a meal because I would just be like, oh, like it has everything I need and it's quick and convenient, but I was missing a lot of the micronutrients like greens and things like that. And yes, I was getting protein, but I was also getting a lot of things that I maybe didn't necessarily need to eat.
I mean, there are the whole ones, which I think like the ones she shows, Go Macro, I think those are more like whole food based, but those tend to be lower in protein, number one, and number two, tastes pretty bad in my experience. But I absolutely get what she's saying. Like for me, the Go chocolate pretzel bars, I can't, no. Like if they're in the house, I'm eating like 4 a day. They are just too delicious. They're just a candy bar. So for me, keeping ones that I like, but I don't like obsess over is really, really good. And for me, that's the Go Slim bars, the chocolate mint bars. I really like them and it's a nice thing, a nice way to start the day because I always have one with my coffee before I do my workout and stuff. But I don't love them to the point where I'm like craving them or wanting them the rest of the day, right? I can have one in the morning and I'm good. Plus they have way more protein than the delicious, delicious pretzel ones, 180 or 170 calories and 17 grams of protein. That is pretty much unheard of in the vegan plant-based protein bar world. Half the time it's like protein bar and it's like 10 grams and 250 calories. What? No. Then she does briefly talk about protein powder. She recommends Epic Protein, which is $56 for only 26 servings. Now she says, she doesn't eat protein powder every day, so, it's probably not that bad for her. But for me, I eat protein powder pretty much every day, so bad. Bad for me. So I buy 7 pounds of unflavored pea protein on Amazon for $40. I also like that she mentions that it's not just vegans who use protein powder. Obviously, lots of people in the fitness world and elsewhere use protein powder. If you go to pretty much any fitness like Instagram account, you will see protein powder, probably sponsored, but still. For dinner, she goes out to a restaurant, and I love that she's wearing her mask, leading by example. That's awesome. She talks about how it can be hard to find like satisfying vegan food at restaurants, even when you can find vegan stuff at like non-vegan establishments.
Avocado toast, pasta, kind of just like plain veggies, which are awesome. I'm always grateful for vegan options at any restaurant, but I do feel like sometimes it is lacking in protein.
Even some vegan restaurants, like the ones that we avoid here, it's a lot of rice and vegetables and stuff. But this one looks pretty awesome. Lots of tofu and mock meats and stuff. They've got some tofu skewers and mock meat curry thingy, and yeah, looks delicious. I will say briefly, it looks like they're dining outside, which is great. Hopefully the tables are spaced and everything. Please avoid indoor dining. Even if the tables are spaced, it is a high-risk activity. And don't be fooled by the like little tents that some restaurants are setting up for the incoming wet and cold weather, where the top is enclosed and the sides are enclosed, if not the whole thing. That could actually be worse. If we're talking fully enclosed or almost fully enclosed with no ventilation like you would have inside, yeah, that's not great. It's effectively indoor dining, if not worse than indoor dining. Nothing to do with her videos. I just wanted to mention that because a lot of people seem to think that going to restaurants is fine and not that risky, and it's understandable. Our government has done a really, 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 really poor job of disseminating information or even believing in evidence-based information. But yeah, so I understand, but it is a high-risk activity, so please don't do it. Please keep doing the takeout and the pickup, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I really liked this video. She offers lots of great options, most of which are readily available and affordable. Obviously, beans, even like chickpea flour, as long as you're not getting like the dumb organic whatever brand. Tempeh is fairly inexpensive depending on the brand. Again, we can only find Light Life. Nutritional yeast is now everywhere, and even Kroger has one, and it's cheaper than the Bragg's. Protein pasta can be very expensive, can be several times more than just regular semolina pasta. I really like the variety she showed. It wasn't just mock meats and protein powder like how I eat, But it wasn't, on the flip side, it wasn't just like beans and quinoa either. Speaking of beans, there is one problem with getting a lot of protein from whole food sources like beans: gas and bloating. It will get better for most people over time, but like even for me, I still have, a little bit of trouble. Like I said, the chickpea pizza both times, man, wasn't great. Wasn't great on the farting front or the painful gas front. I find that even when I'm eating a lot of beans for a long time, I still have to eat less fruit. I don't know what it is, but the mix of those two together, oh my God, it makes the most toxic farts in the world. Like, it's impressive, I'm not gonna lie, but it gets old pretty fast. And even if I do avoid fruit, I still get gas. It's less stinky, but it's still like, it's a fair amount of farts, and I just don't like it. In all seriousness, like, it is kind of one of the reasons why I do focus more on the processed protein sources in terms of like meeting most of my protein needs, really. I mean, it's not a major reason, but it is kind of a reason, So I stick with the soy and the mock meats and the protein pasta and the protein powders. Like, seriously, I like never fart anymore. It's dope. Finally, I did watch another video as well. I watched the one right before this one. It's a what I eat in a week. It is also great. There's so many meals with protein, tofu and quinoa and chickpeas and mock meat, just all sorts of stuff. I think her videos really are a great resource for those who are looking for a more balanced vegan diet with easy recipes and lots of different options. All of her stuff is really simple, but it still looks very flavorful. I feel like I don't see that a lot with vegan stuff. I feel like a lot of the simple stuff is like, yeah, it's simple because you've only got 3 ingredients and it's gonna taste like those 3 ingredients, and like that's fine, but you know, maybe a few more spices or something would be more delicious. This is coming from someone who just ate broccoli with salt and pepper and nutritional yeast. So lots of protein options, lots of vegetables and other produce, lots of variety in general. It's great. I will say I wish she mentioned supplements. I didn't see her talk about them in either video. I wish she did at least talk about B12. Obviously she eats nutritional yeast and seems to eat that pretty frequently. And like I said, pretty much all of them are fortified with B12 now. But you know, I still get people comment to me when they see a video of mine talking about B12 who are like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to take B12. So, yeah, I wish that more vegan YouTubers and whatnot would talk about it when they're doing a What I Ate Today or something. Just like, take a B12 supplement. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, maybe subscribe. I don't know. Support the channel, patreon.com/unnaturalvegan, onlyfans.com/unnaturalvegan, where I just talk about stuff. Hopefully I will have a new video very soon. I'm burping so much. This is why I don't eat before I record. I usually just, even if I'm starving, like, let me record and then I'll go eat because I just burp so much. But oh, it was good. Had the incognito. Is that Morningstar Farm? That's Morningstar Farm, right? It's their like new line, incognito nuggets, which are very, very good. They're actually, I think they have a little bit more protein per calorie than their other nuggets, and they're very, very tasty. I had like 6 of those, and I had some broccoli, just some steamed broccoli with salt and pepper and nutritional yeast. Very vegan, very delicious. And oh, and then I had a smoothie. This is why I don't do What I Ate Today all the time, because it's usually just weird shit like that. Protein and greens. Okay, cool. Got the nuggets, got the greens, and I'm still hungry. Smoothie. Why not? So yeah, I had a strawberry banana yogurt. I use the Kite Hill Greek yogurt. Love that stuff. Not on its own because it's got that waxy taste that the almond yogurts have. That's kind of weird, but in a smoothie, ooh, it's good. And some pea protein powder. And did I say strawberries? A little bit of orange juice. I just use the orange juice concentrate and just scoop some in. Some soy milk, hemp seeds for omega-3s, and I think that's it. So yeah, that was my really weird dinner, but very delicious. You know, that's one thing with the What I Ate in a Week video that I did. Still can't believe I actually did it. Stuck through it and did it. I saw like several comments from people just saying, well, number one, like, you eat canned soup? What? Like, yeah, that's what? It's all right. It's not that bad. Holy crap. But also just like, you know, you eat like a child. You're just eating cucumber and tomato. It's like, what? I'm eating vegetables. Who cares if it's just cucumber and tomato instead of some fancy fucking salad, like, you know, with lots of different flavors. Like, I don't know. That's such a weird thing to complain about, I guess. It's like, you eat like a kid. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, I like cereal and shit like that, but like, really, you're picking on me for the types of vegetables I eat and the way that I eat them? That is so strange. I don't know. I think that's just a really bad message. Anyway, I thought about that because my dinner is like weird, nuggets and broccoli and then a smoothie. Like, it's super weird, but often that's kind of like what I want to eat. It was really delicious. I'm super full and satisfied and burpy, but that's, you know, that happens no matter what I eat. If I had made a more pleasing vegan meal, you know, like more of a, you know, something more cohesive or whatever, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. You know, I tend to like, I mean, I do eat like a kid in that way. I do like things separate generally. I'm more excited by like having either more of a, I guess, a traditional dinner in like the steak, potatoes, and peas type thing, you know, some sort of mock meat and potatoes and peas and carrots or whatever. Love it. And then smoothies, man. Like, I like smoothies. I don't eat them every day, but I like them. And sometimes it's it's what I want. I don't know. I don't, it makes me sad that people might feel bad about the way they eat for like innocuous reasons like that, right? Because ultimately what I ate was pretty healthy, right? You gotta find what works for you, you know? And if it's weird, who gives a shit? I know Halloween's over, but I just want to enjoy it for like at least this video, maybe another video or 2 or 3. I need to figure out something to go behind here. I mean, I can't just go right into Christmas, right? As much as I want to, it's a little too early. But I need to figure out something for just a regular thing, you know, that goes back here. But I don't know what. I don't know. I'm not just gonna have like vegan or something. I don't know, man. I wish I could art. I don't know, I'll figure out something. If you got any ideas, let me know.